Overall consensus, it's great for gains and recovery, especially when stacked with SARMs, peptides, steroids, or anything else. So it's pretty much you can stack it with anything. There are some exceptions, I'm sure, that I'm not thinking of at the moment, but it is a very easy to stack product. And as a standalone, it works very well as well. So primary uses for people in this audience would be the muscle building factor, recovery, and fat loss during a cut or recomp. Uh, it's notably beneficial for hard gainers or older individuals with low growth hormone. Nighttime users seeking better sleep and overnight recovery can find benefit from this product, and it can aid with hair health, skin elasticity, and anti-aging benefits. So dosing guidelines, usually beginners would start with 10 milligrams before bed. Intermediates would be 20 to 25 milligrams split daily, half in the morning, half in the evening. Advanced users would do 25 to 30 milligrams nightly or split dosage for sustained growth hormone elevation. A lot of guys prefer to take this before bed to align with natural growth hormone pulses. My preference is to take it in the morning, and I'll dive into that here in a little bit. No cycling is required on this, but long-term users may benefit from breaks every 3 to 6 months. I will say that my opinion on this is I utilize this on days when I'm needing the extra growth hormone. So if I'm taking a day off, I don't take it. On days when I'm going to be working excessively heavy, I'll take this first thing in the morning for several reasons. First off, it really, really increases my hunger. And eating is one thing I've had a hard time with. Just eating enough calories in a day is something that I struggle with on a regular basis, especially when I'm trying to eat cleaner food. I've talked before about how it's pretty easy to get in your 200 grams of protein a day by eating 2 pounds of beef, right? And yeah, that seems easy, but a lot of times I can't get that 2 pounds of beef or the 2 pounds of chicken or the combination into my system. And on top of just that basic protein, you need other things like carbohydrates, right? So you start factoring in this food, and a lot of times I have a hard time getting it all in. And so taking MK677 first thing in the morning drastically helps me to be able to eat my pre-workout meal and again post-workout and throughout the rest of the day. So I'm actually able to hit my caloric goals when I utilize MK677, whereas when I'm not on it, I have a hard time. Now, I will say that I have mine from aminoxgen.com. These are 12.5 milligram capsules. And for me, that's the ideal dosage. I found that when I go to 20 or 30 milligrams, I start to get a lot of water retention. Even if I take some diuretics like dandelion root extract, it helps some, but not that much. Okay, I've talked before. If you guys go back into my older content, I have literally hundreds of videos talking about these products while I'm on cycle, what I'm experiencing, things like that. And you'll see that one of the big problems I had was the water retention, and that's one of the reasons that I'd quit taking it in the past. I realized later on that that was a dose dependent issue, and so when I dropped down to the 12.5 milligrams on specific workout days only, that I'm not suffering the water retention issues, and I'm still getting the benefit out of it. So I'm getting better sleep, better recovery, and the primary thing for me has been the increased appetite. So if you're somebody that has a hard time right now with eating too much, this probably isn't a good product for you, because you are going to feel like you are literally the black hole of starvation while you're on this product. Now, I can't say it's true for everybody, but in my experience, regardless of the brand, if you're buying quality MK677, the hunger factor is the first thing that's going to show up. And if you're not getting the hunger factor, at least from my own personal experience trying dozens of brands, if I'm not getting the hunger, I don't think this stuff is legitimate. So I don't know if everybody has that hunger side effect, but for me, that's the first thing that shows up, and it's a reliable tester for myself. Obviously, I'm looking at COAs and things like that too, right? Back in the day when I first started taking this stuff, nobody offered COAs, so it was a lot harder. And my first couple times utilizing MK677, I was very underwhelmed. There weren't COAs available, and I don't know if it was actually legitimate MK677.